Everyone, let's get another video knocked out on my recent extra credit assignment. Here we go. So, notice guys that this is not a right triangle. Remember, with a right triangle, I can do SOHCAHTOA, and of course I can do Pythagorean theorem, right? Well, we have no such luck, right, when it's not a right triangle. Notice the angle is actually 104 degrees. It's obtuse, as we say. So this is why we have to use something called the law of cosines. The law of cosines. And basically the law of cosines says this: c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of theta. Theta is the angle between sides A and B. Okay? Notice also again that the beginning part of it is Pythagorean theorem. And so we just have this adjustment here, minus 2ab cosine theta, to make it work. Okay? So, let's get right down to it. I notice that they want me to find AB. I'm going to call that side X there. That's my AB side right there. Notice it is opposite of the 104. Notice the angle is made by the A and B sides. So the key thing to remember is that theta angle, guys, has got to be between my A and B sides, as shown. So let's just get to the formula. I know x squared, that was my C in this case, equals a squared. I'm going to call 28 my A, so I have 28 squared plus 20 is my B, 20 squared minus 2 times a b cosine theta. And what's cool, oh wait a minute, theta of course is 104 degrees. So what's cool about this one is, notice everything is all set up for us. All I have to do is do all of this in my calculator, and I'm going to have x squared, which means x, or side AB, is just going to be the square root of what I just circled, right? And I'm going to show you again with the calculator right now. Notice I did my a squared plus my b squared minus 2 times a times b times the cosine. My theta was 104. This 1454 is, remember, x squared. So that's why I did the square root on it. And my x, therefore, is 38.14. So I know my x is 38.14. If we want to round off a little bit, guys, how about we keep at least one decimal place? So we'll say 38.1 yard, since the units are yards. Okay. Pause the video if you need to. Now, the one we never covered in class, at least recently, is a problem like number 9 here. Notice, sorry I got interrupted there. Notice again, guys, that this is an obtuse triangle. It's not a right triangle. I.e., I can't use SOHCAHTOA. I can't use Pythagorean theorem, okay? My only choice is, we're going to go ahead and use law of cosines again. And they want us to find angle B. Now, this is critical, guys. They want us to find angle B, which is down here, right? Which I just marked in red. So remember, the side opposite is your C. The A and the B must be, or the angle must be between them. So we're going to use basically the law of cosines a little bit backwards and see if this makes sense. If I took the c squared, that's got to equal the a squared plus the b squared minus 2 times A times the B cosine. In this case, our theta is missing. It's our angle B. So I'm just going to call it angle B. So what I'm going to do with the calculator, guys, is I'm just going to do it in pieces. First, let's do 15 squared. 15 squared is 225. Okay, so we have 225 equals, let's go ahead and do this chunk together. 28 squared plus 17 squared. 28 squared plus 17 squared is 1073. Let's go ahead and do this chunk together. Minus 2 times 28 times 17. As you can see right here, 2 times 28 times 17 is 952. Let's remember to do the minus, since there's a minus right there. So we have a minus 952 cosine of B. Now, to find B, yes, let's first solve for cosine B. So how about we now take the 225 and take away the 1073. 225 minus 1073 is negative 848. So negative 848 equals negative 952, watch your signs, cosine of B. The only thing left to do is let's divide by negative 952 both sides. We're just solving for cosine B, guys. So let's see if I did that correctly. I took my answer, divided by negative 952, and I got 0.8907. Okay, so coming over here, let me go ahead and go back to red. Coming back over here, guys, I'll just stick with black. I know cosine of B equals positive 0.8907, right? Let me just double check. Yeah, 0.8907. Now, if you're using your calculator like me, guys, leave all of that in your calculator. Don't clear it out. Notice I did not clear it out in my calculator, because now to find the B right here, I'm going to do cosine inverse on both sides, because that gets rid of cosine, right? And so my angle B is going to be whatever the cosine inverse of that 0.8907 is, right? And as you can see right here, the cosine inverse of A and S, my answer, the 0.8907563025, is 27.03. So therefore, I know my angle is, oops, sorry guys, I messed up there a little bit. My angle is 20, I'm close to my change screen thing, but it's 27 degrees, right? I can't write there without touching my arrow. So I just figured out, guys, that that angle right in there, let me go to purple. So that angle B right there is basically 27 degrees. Hopefully you can see that okay. Let me put it in black. 27 degrees, okay? And let's just double check if that agrees with the calculator. Yes, we got 27.03. I just rounded off to the nearest degree. Okay? And so guys, that concludes this video. One thing I also like to remind you of is very important that you start practicing with your calculator as you watch my videos. Go through the same calculations I do. Get used to doing all the squares, the square roots, the cosine inverse in this case. Okay? And this one, basically all we had to do was square and square roots. We had to do a cosine, right? And so that concludes video number 4 of set number 5, guys. See you in class.